This is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue with the book, The Dream of Red Chamber. I have introduced several characters around the main character. I'm going to leave the main character at the last, whose name is Bao Yu, Precious Jade. If you recall, I mentioned that he was born according to the novel. It's a little interesting. So he was born with the precious jade. So then they made it into a change. So he wore it all the time. Anyway, so today I'm going to talk about. I have talked about Dai Yu and Bao Chai, who are his cousins. One is from the father's side, one is from the mother's side, and I have talked about the manager of the garden, the garden of Grandview, Xifeng, which is has a double relationship with the main character, as from the cousin side of father's side, as he should call her sister-in-law, from the mother side of the main character Bao Yi, he should call her cousin. So anyway, I'm going to talk of another person whose name is a lady TanChun, which means explore the spring. So all of this Jia's family's girl with the named character of Chun, spring. Okay, so this this lady is explore the spring. That's the meaning of her name, and pronounced as TanChun. So this girl, the relationship between this girl and the main character Bao Yu is they are step brother and sister. They share the same father, different mother. TanChun was from the maid, Mrs. Xing, and Bao Yu's mother is called Mrs. Wang, and this TanChun's mother is called Mrs. Xing. It's the maid of Bao Yu's father. So anyway, so this TanChun probably younger than Bao Yu. Her personality is very straightforward, very smart, very strict. And she and Bao Chai used to be in special period when the manager Xifeng was ill. So her TanChun and Bao Chai, they both took over the key of the Garden of Grandview to manage together. And she was also has a great potential to manage, just like that Xifeng, calling the servant to start early and to manage and to investigate if there's some complaints, and did a quite good job. And she's also capable to write poems, and the special character about her is she knew how to survive in this Garden of Grandview. There's so many people. She was not from the formal real inheritance, because her mother was not the real Mrs. But it's just because it's the maid. In nowadays or in Western culture, there's the same situation called bastard child or whatever it's, but it's not that bad, because the grandmother still love her, and also the cousin, and she knew how to please, how to fit in, really. So she had distance with her mother, stay close with her cousins, so with her brother, and with other cousins, and with the grandmother. So that's the one skill she had in order to survive in this Garden of Grandview. And because of her special status, it's not the real, like the other girls, ladies with the same Chun or spring character, because she is not from the real formal Mrs. or titled. So she is not titled as the other girls. But anyway, she pleased the grandmother, she pleased the brother, stepbrother, and she pleased the real Mrs. Wang, not probably her stepmother or another mother, because it's the entitled of Mrs. For the real hostess of the garden. So anyway, and she is, her fate was eventually, she was married, granted the marriage by the empress, or the concubine of the emperor. Is the order you have to follow, because from the small minority surrounding country, they request the country send the princess or the high noble families to marry their prince. So she was chosen to marry that prince as a princess. It was very far. It's far from a home, different culture, different weather environment, a different language. Fortunately, she could speak that language because she was quite capable, very well educated, just like the other ladies. So this the other important, I think I was very impressed by her surviving skills, and because she was not from Mrs. Wang, not the supposed to entitled or inherit the garden, but she once, like with this Bao Chai, supposed to be the wife of Bao Yu in Mrs. Wang's view, and she and her together to manage the garden. So which means she wins the trust, she wins the position, even though she was not given that, she was not born, inherited that title, but she won it. Eventually, I guess she was marrying to the other countries because in real life, the novel did not say the garden only needed one manager who's supposed to be Bao Chai, and doesn't need two. She's supposed to be a stepsister of this Bao Yu, and the future relationship will be complicated. So she was sent away, which is not bad actually, as predicted. She's a princess anyway, even though it's not it's far from the home, from the country, and especially if you think about the final fate from this garden, everybody fell, and some people died, some people lost, some people went to the poor family, married to the poor family, and Bao Yi went to became a monk, and his two wives, Xiren and Bao Chai, just became plain common women. And so that's just the different person has different fate according to the author. The reality associated with this character is to adapt, to fit in, and without losing heart. Actually, at the same time, she, compared to Bao Chai, she probably be more respected because of her character. Even though she tried to fit in, to work hard to please the grandmother, but she has the side of brightness, the side of right, and took responsibility. For example, there's an event when she and Bao Chai managed the garden, and she took responsibility to solve the problem that Bao Chai just slipped away, trying to gain, the good reputation, to stay away from problems. So this is another positive part about her in author's view. So I'm going to stop here. That's my opinion, and you can read it by yourself. Again, the purpose for introduce this book, because it is so famous, so many characters. Each character has a unique part to be associated with the reality of life, and to have the skill of survive, and also have the fate attached to each one. So I'm going to stop here, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time.